We are here to celebrate Coffee Shop in an alternate universe. Sorry, not another universe, alternate universe. That's very important. CB is going to chat with Dahlia De La Vega, one of our frequent moderators we love having here. We also have a special guest, Elise Dean, who will be doing a reading. They're gonna talk probably 30-40 minutes after the reading, and then we will do a signing, and then we will all go home. First, to introduce this lovely panel of people here. Elise has been acting for about 1,000 years after she saw Ally McGraw die beautifully in Love Story at the Rex Theater in Saigon. She didn't know how the moving pictures got onto the screen, but they felt like magic and she wanted to be inside them. Elise works in film, TV, theater, and podcast radio as an actor and acting dialect coach. Elise's notable on-camera credits are Watchmen, the HBO series, which I own, Grey's Anatomy, Better Things, a recurring role on Ava DuVernay's Queen Sugar, and Spider-Man 2. Elise is also active in voiceover work, narrating this particular book, audiobooks, of several audiobooks, and doing loops, groups, ADR, in addition to commercials, podcasts, audio plays, and PSAs. She loves eating pho and dancing to disco music sometimes at the same time. And our moderator today, Dahlia De La Vega, is the LA-based bookstagrammer and book reviewer behind Of Pages in Print on social. You should follow her. She is a voracious reader and audiobook devourer and created Of Pages in Print to support and promote YA fantasy and romance authors. And that's why she's here so often, which we like. And our guest of honor today, C.B. Lee, is an author of young adult and middle grade fiction, including the New York Times bestseller Minecraft, The Shipwreck. Her works also include the Junior Library Guild Gold Standard, A Clash of Steel, a Treasure Island remix, the Lambda Literary Award nominated Sidekick Squad series, Bin 10 graphic novels, go Bin 10, I love those. Out now, Queer We Go Again, and From a Certain Point of View, The Empire Strikes Back. Lee's works have been featured in NPR, Teen Vogue, Wired Magazine, Hypeable, Tor's Best of Fantasy and Sci-Fi, and the ALA's Rainbow List. And we're here right after Pride Month to celebrate this book.
Woo! You come to this.
And then you will share and so Elise will be first.
Okay. How do we invite?
This is here. I can stand for you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Do you want me to adjust it? You got it. This is good height.
Please adjust.
So, in case you haven't put it together, we're going to do a reading.
Are you going to stand on a sit so we can more comfortable? There we go.
So, Elise is going to read for Brenda. And Emily Wu Zeller is the amazing voice actor for, she also narrated Not Your Sidekick, A Clash of Steel, and Coffee Shop in the Alternate Universe. Unfortunately, she could not be here tonight, so I will read for Kat.
Aww. You're going to fall in love. Okay. Oh my God.
Yes.
She wears a baseball cap.
She does. Okay. I blink at the chalkboard menu. It looks incredibly complicated. Apparently, people must customize their drinks all the time. The shop's flavors are cute, themed around moods like slow me down, or rewind, or wake me up. Espresso, 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 I mutter to myself, but I can't find it anywhere on the menu.
Be right there with you. You know what you want?
I don't have time to chit-chat about this coffee shop's hipster specials. My heart is skyrocketing with panic and words start tumbling out of me. Sorry, I've never been here before, but can I just do an iced coffee with 2 shots of espresso?
You want a pick-me-up? How special?
Sure, I just need to get this done. I've got a scholarship deadline in the next 10 minutes, so I gotta...
No worries, I'll bring it to you.
I set a 20 on the counter before darting back to my table. Thank you so much, keep the change. I roll my shoulders back, load up the Fields Forward website, and log in. I can do this. I fly through the digital application, doing a quick review of my short answers and making sure all the files are uploaded correctly. A silvery mug is set down next to me. I take a generous sip. It's some heavenly concoction of espresso and iced coffee. There's a hint of vanilla and cinnamon and something else, a bright flavor that makes me perk up right away. No wonder it's the house special. It's amazing. A calming peace settles over me, and with every sip of my coffee, I have new determination to finish. I give the whole application one more once over and then press submit. I slump back in my chair. Done. I close my eyes, watching a swirl of colors dance behind my eyelids, counting slowly. I can relax for a little, only a minute, and then I'll get out my to-do list and evaluate what else needs to get done tonight. Thank you, universe. There's a laugh, bright and tinkling.
Wow, when you really said you needed to get it done, you meant it. You finish?
I throw my arms into the air and whoop victoriously.
Congrats.
I open my eyes and look up, right into a pair of bright brown eyes, warm with amusement. Wow, really? Thank you, universe. The girl is incredibly cute, with a heart-shaped face and a smile that seems perpetually sunny. Wisps of black hair escape from her baseball cap, framing her face with soft tendrils.
I've never seen your hair before. You go to Devonsford?
San Pablo.
I'm Kat.
Brenda, I say, suddenly nervous. I can't think of anything else to say, even though I know I'm known for rambling and usually saying too much. I rack my brain for something, anything to say, something cool, but the only thought running through my head is cute girl, cute girl, cute girl. And I keep getting distracted by the slope of her bare shoulders, the easy warmth of her smile.
So what was your scholarship thing about?
Oh, just like what I plan to do in college and why they should select me specifically for this scholarship.
After this, we're gonna go first.
And what do you want to do?
Save the world, basically. I laugh a little, trying to play it off as a joke, but really, that's what I want to do. I don't think I've ever said that out loud before. I plunge forward, emboldened by her gaze, and begin talking animatedly about the plan. It isn't until I'm already on step 7 and how I realized in AP Chem that through science I could make a difference when I realize Kat is actually paying attention. Most people's eyes gloss over if I get this far in the spiel, but she's leaning forward, listening with interest. There's a little furrow in Kat's forehead as she knits her eyebrows together and a hint of a smile on her lips. This is new.
Sounds like a hell of a plan. Just make sure you have time to have some fun.
She leans in closer and I take a slight breath, hoping to be unnoticeable. She smells like freshly ground vanilla beans. The only thing I can think about is how she didn't laugh at the plan, how I could never in 100 years pull off how casually confident she is. Okay, I say, I fiddle with my hair self-consciously. So, fun. What do you like to do? Way to go, Brenda. You've definitely impressed her now, what with your endless rambling and dorky goals.
Lots of things. Mess around with runes, come up with my own spells.
Cool, like Dungeons and Dragons stuff? I can't help grinning excitedly at her. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I even have my character sheet and notebook in my messenger bag right now. You never know when you might have inspiration or when your friends want to do a one-shot.
You think it's cool?
Well, yeah. Kat leans closer, her eyes sparkling with interest as she listens. I can't help but giggle, a thrum of nerves rushing through me. My friends and I play every week. We get into so much trouble, but it's fun. One time our party came up against a red dragon and I nearly died like 3 times, but...
You got away? Dragons are so...
I nod, thrilled. Yeah, I know, right? Luckily, I had some great spells handy and had just leveled up, so...
Whoa, that's amazing. I've never met anyone who's encountered a dragon before, let alone anyone else my own age who writes their own original spells. I'd love to hear more.
The bell over the door chimes again, and a few people walk in, laughing. They look like they're coming from dress rehearsal before 3 different plays. Maybe there's a convention in town I don't know about. Kat waves at them and glances back at me with a sigh.
I gotta go. You gonna be here a while?
I could come back Saturday. Do you want to hang out then?
I'm off Saturday. I can meet you here if you want to have coffee.
So it's a date? The last word comes out as a high-pitched squeak, and I clap my hands to my mouth in embarrassment. I mean,
Oh, yes, I love that.
That sounds great, I say. A slow, pleased smile blooms across her face. And I know there's a goofy grin on my face as well. I know I've got work to do, but a few hours with Kat seems like the best thing in the world right now. We stare at each other, and then the moment is broken when one of the customers coughs. I'll see you Saturday. It's a promise, the hope of something new and exciting in my usual routine. I gather up my things in a daze. I pause at the door and catch her eye as she waves at me. I wave back with a giggle, and I turn to face the window with a smile before I make a fool of myself. Outside, I can see wind rustling through the green grass by the street, and everything is beautiful and peaceful. Wait, green grass? Looking down Main Street, the whole road is lined with lush oaks rustling with thick, waxy green leaves, willows swaying in the wind, all of it bursting with life on the narrow meridian in the middle of the street. I open the door and step out just as a dry, hot wind rushes by, whipping my hair into my face. I cough and splutter, and when I look up, all I can see is the same old, dry and dusty meridian, parched earth and long dead weeds. Huh.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being Brenda.
Can we go home now?
No.
That was incredible. I'm in awe. It's amazing. Okay, so I don't even know where to start. I'm just like filling out this performance. Okay. Would you start us off with a little bit of an elevator pitch besides the fact that we already know it's a coffee shop?
Sure. It's two girls meet in a coffee shop and immediately hit it off and want to have a date. But upon their first date, realize that they both live in two different universes. Well, at first they think the other girl has to, but then they learn that they're from two different universes, and in order to keep dating, they have to find the spaces where the universes collide and intersect. And then there's other stuff going on, like an epic prophecy, and the collision has other implications, and Dungeons and Dragons, on what happens when real magic meets fictional magic.
Amazing. I love it. This book is incredible, and thank you all so much for joining us to celebrate it. Okay, so where did the initial kernel of inspiration come from, and how did you approach developing it into a full-length novel that we have today?
So I daydream a lot, and as a kid, I also daydreamed a lot. And in elementary school, I used to walk home from school, and one of the streets was lined with jacaranda trees. Those huge trees with like beautiful purple blossoms, and they would just fall, and they were gorgeous. And I would just imagine, like, obviously as a child who was walking 25 minutes or 30, I had very short legs, minutes every day, I would just daydream about, like, what if I just walked into a world that had magic? What if there's a fantasy world just around this corner? And so that kind of idea stuck with me, especially as I continued to daydream as an adult. Like, oh, if you're stuck in traffic, what if there's a dragon flying over the freeway? And the idea really started to come together when, thinking about coffee shops as a trope and a vibe. Like, I love fan fiction so much, and I think that there's so much creativity in fandom, and I think there's so much joy and passion. And the coffee shop AU is such a staple in every fandom, no matter if it's dystopian and gritty and like, all these things, whether your AU is like, if you're coming, whatever universe, there is a coffee shop alternate universe. And in that universe, or it's not always, it is usually fluffy, but it is not always fluffy. It depends on the writer. And I love what people bring to it. It's like an endless vehicle for creativity. And I think my favorite thing about coffee shop AUs is just, it's that catalyst for creativity. And there's always that, like, joy for the meet cute, because it doesn't matter if the characters have known each other forever, if they were from, you know, if they were space pirates, or if they were a duke and this, and if they were enemies, if they were like lovers in another universe. In the coffee shop, they are, you know, barista, different customer, person who was writing their novel, and you know, they fight over the last laptop outlet, whatever. And it's that like joy for romance, I think, that really brought me to like, okay, Brenda and Kat meet and have this spark. And I think a lot of it comes from that like excitement for that joy. I wrote a lot of the book actually here in the Red Bodice and on the pink couch, the OG pink couch before. And yeah, I think there's what I wanted to bring, and why the title is Coffee Shop in an Alternate Universe. This particular novel is not an AU of anything. It's an AU of itself. So yeah, just joy for multiple dimensions.
I love that. And as we just experienced through that incredible reading, their meet cute is so joyful, and it's so fun, and it's hilarious, and I absolutely loved it. So you truly brought so much joy to this amazing story. So Coffee Shop is a story about saving your world in the ways you can. Like Brenda said, maybe you can't stop an asteroid or bus accident, but you can work to save the planet and protect what's important to you with the resources you have available. Would you expand upon why it was important for you to share this message, especially in a YA novel?
I think it's really easy I cannot talk. It's really easy to be burnt out, especially in our world and our current climate. And there's like traumatizing things happening every day, and people that we love are in danger, and every day our government is trying to hurt us. And I think it's easy to be overwhelmed with information and to feel hopeless and to feel like nothing you do matters. But I think it is also important to keep trying and to know that like your joy is important. And every little thing is valuable, whether it's just like, hey, I'm gonna put this can in the recycling bin, and like in the grand scheme of things, is this gonna stop climate change? Maybe, maybe not, but hey, there's one less can that would go into a landfill. And I think that's one thing about like the small things matter, because we are all part of this universe, and like, you know, even if we cannot single-handedly stop huge things from happening, it makes a difference to us in our present. And I feel like just every day, even just like, oh, like what's the like value in enjoying a romance novel? I think that's hugely important, right? Like it's important to feel that joy. It's important to take time for yourself, to share that joy with others, and maybe that joy also is what keeps you going in dark times.
Romance brings so much joy, and that is why we have this amazing store. It's romance dedicated, so it's actually the perfect place to celebrate Coffee Shop. Okay, so I loved how vivid and realistic each of the universes felt. Or I guess one of them is actually real, and the other is a universe. How did you approach writing the different we'll continue with this. Different universes to maintain some similarities while incorporating magical differences?
So Brenda's world is ours, and Kat's world is very similar to ours, except that there is also magic, and it is a world that has also developed around magic as technology. So I constructed like her Los Angeles in a way that actually came a lot from like, what would LA look like without cars? And what would it have looked like if, you know, not just like magic as technology, magic as an inherent part of the economy, but I found this map that kind of started this, like I could have set this novel anywhere in any universe, but I wanted it to be in LA, not only because I'm from LA, but like this map was like, it made me actually really angry, because it was a very coherent system of the public electric streetcar system that used to be in Los Angeles. And this streetcar system was so comprehensive. You could go from like East LA to Pasadena to Santa Monica to Malibu to like, so you could get on a streetcar and transfer and be on the west side, and you could go all the way to like Irvine, and you could go up to like Mount Lowe and do all these incredible things just because like public transportation is incredible. But we don't have that anymore because the car industry sought to like destroy it, because they're like, we need people to have cars. And Mount Lowe is a real place that used to have a thriving like hotel and resort with tennis courts. So in Kat's world, this resort is still there. You take the streetcar up to the mountain, you have this beautiful view, it's like a ritzy place. In Brenda's world, like here, Mount Lowe is now a hike, and you can hike. It's got lots of switchbacks. It's a beautiful hike. I love it a lot. But at the top of the hike are ruins. There's ruins of the railroad track, there's ruins, the foundations of the tennis courts and the hotel. And, you get this beautiful view of Los Angeles. But I just imagine, like, the magic of Los Angeles is its people, right? And so, like, I wanted to imagine, like, what would this city have looked like had we thrived in a different way? And, like, obviously the magical world is not without its complications, but the crafting it came a lot from, like, doing research into, like, 1910s, like, Los Angeles and, like, what that would have looked like if we had just not had cars.
I love that. So Brenda first experiences the magic of Kat's world in Kat's coffee shop when she drinks a special beverage that suits her needs perfectly. And I loved how it seamlessly introduced Brenda's, what did I say? How she seamlessly introduced the fantasy elements into Brenda's life. How did you approach merging fantasy with the contemporary setting and writing Brenda's experience with that?
So a funny thing with genre, I think this used to be called urban fantasy, and there is also paranormal romance, and now it's romantasy. I mean, all of these are slightly different, but these are all words. All words are made up, so is language. But I don't know. It's interesting because I think what makes the most sense to me is like high fantasy and like. And like, okay, this is a huge world steeped in fantasy with lots of mythology and lore. And then there's like fantasy where there's technology that we recognize. But I don't know, there's also like, people think about like Lord of the Rings is the ultimate high fantasy, but that's also a world that's built on the ruins of another world. So it's like, it's post-apocalyptic sort of. But I don't know, genre is interesting. I really wanted to write a magic system that felt really like uniquely my own. So I was like, magic is like math. No one wants to do it. I mean, maybe some people do it, but there are a few people who really enjoy it, and a few people who want to go into programming, and people who really thrive in that. But a lot of people, in Kat's world, like, oh, you go to high school? Okay, you need to take spelling 1, you need 2 to pass high school, and like they're required classes, and everyone's like, what would we ever need to use this for in our real life? Because the tech is all like, you can just do it from your rune book or phone. So that's I rambled enough.
No, I loved it. So the magic system was absolutely delightful. And okay, let's talk a little bit more about magic system. I'm sorry, we have to. What was your process for designing it and like in weaving it through the world and the characters?
So with the foundation that magic is math, I was like, okay, what spells then are programming? And when you write a spell, you can use an existing template that people have done, written historically and used lots of things. And also there's like different elements. My editor started to tell me there were like too many things going on. I made it overly complicated at first, but there's like parts where you design the spell or you can use a pre-designed spell. And then I wanted at the core about it that like magic is about intention. So I didn't want to have a world of like people who are magical and people who are not. I wanted to have a world where everyone has the potential. If you want to study it, you can study and flourish and practice it. But it's a practice. It's a skill that you can learn and anybody can develop it. So with the world building and creating of the magic system, it's math. So that's what I wanted to study. I also included some like silly things like, oh, you forgot a rune stroke or parentheses. The whole thing falls apart.
I love it. So Kat begins the story determined not to let any partner or date get close enough to hurt her again, and then over the course of the story, she breaks down her walls for Brenda and starts to feel freer and more comfortable with sharing her true self. How did you approach writing that aspect of their character and their relationship?
Thank you. So Kat is the chosen one. She's had a prophecy follow her around that she is destined to save the world and most likely lose her life doing that. And so she has a lot of feelings about this, like obviously anger, resentment, and her whole goal is like, it's not her responsibility, right? Her reaction also, she's grieving, I really wanted to explore a chosen one who was like given your destiny on a platter, given like you alone are the prophecy has named you alone can save the world, to be like, nope, I can't do it, I won't do it. And so like she's, you know, the other side of the coin is Brenda, who is like, oh, I want to save the world, I'm here, I'm going to like go out and do it because that's what I want to do with my life, and I'm going to do it with science. And so Kat, I think both of them have like different ways that they're approaching their life goals, where Kat is so like, you know, everything's messed up and it's not fair that I've been given this prophecy, which means that I'm, you know, is going to spell certain death likely, and like why bother having relationships, why bother like connecting with anyone. And she's also, you know, been hurt before, so she really does, like you said, let down her walls, because Brenda does not see her as a chosen one. Brenda sees her as her own person, and gives her, it like helps her remember that she is in charge of her destiny.
I love it. It's such a beautiful take on the chosen one trope, and I love how you have it for both of the characters, right? That kind of like, or I guess for Brenda, it's more of like she's chosen herself. I love the way that it kind of acts as like a foil between them. Okay, so Brenda is someone who loves to plan and make lists, and she fears stepping into the unknown. And exploring Kat's magical world is a significant leap for her, helping her grow and step out of her comfort zone. How did you approach writing that development?
So Brenda does bullet journals, and she has extensive lists, and she plans out everything to a T, and she really has to learn how to relax. But her exploration of like Brenda's world is Kat's world is part of her learning to actually like let go of this, like everything needs a step and everything needs to be perfect, and everything I need to get, like my 19-step plan needs to be achieved in this exact order, because she doesn't plan for romance, she doesn't plan for time for herself, she only plans like, this is what I need to save the world, without thinking about her and what she needs. So her own journey is about like letting go of these expectations that she's put on herself.
I love it so much. Okay, so one of the things I loved about Brenda and Kat's relationship is how both of them are supportive of and want the best for each other. They listen to each other, they ask questions, they're engaged when they talk. Would you discuss how you approach portraying their healthy relationship?
It's interesting because I feel like there's so much that, like, so many different ways romance writers go into like writing a relationship, whether it's like, you know, you have rivals to romance, you have best friends to lovers, you have like people who meet for the first time and develop a relationship. And so actually this was a challenge for me, because I wanted them to have like a natural like flow together, but they also live in two different universes, so it's very long distance. So they get to know each other over a series of like either dates, like first it's accidental, then it's intentional once they figure out how to do it. But they really do bring out the best in each other. And I wanted them to have like, in the way that like you're getting to know someone and falling in love with them, like you want to build that like connection over like, not just like shared interests, but also like connecting with like your partner's friends and like being a part of the community. Like they go on a hike together and do like a trail cleanup. And then they also like eat a lot of food. And they're also uncovering this like mystery about what's going on with the prophecy.
I love it. The adventure that they go on in this story is so much fun, and I love how it's still a very cozy, like comforting story. Okay, so the queer characters, from your main characters to your side characters, are accepted and loved and free to express themselves. Would you expand upon why it's important for you to portray these experiences for the LGBTQI+ community?
Yeah, I in all of my books, I wanted to have these stories when I was a kid. And so I'm writing for like my 16-year-old self, and also like anybody who feels that way or could feel, or showing that like, hey, we do exist. Like we exist and we deserve to have happy endings, and we deserve to have fun, fluffy stories. We deserve to have dark, gritty stories. We deserve to have every single genre of stories, and like not just like, you know, one shelf in the bookstore, but like we can have like B&B in every genre, and like have happy endings and complicated endings and messy relationships and inspiring everything under the sun. So I think the through line of like my books and why I'm writing queer characters, because I'm queer and I want these relationships to be seen and be visible and continue to be visible.
I love it. And so you've written for YA and middle grade audiences. How do the stories you want to tell differ based on your audience?
I feel like I don't know, it's interesting because I feel like I've always written kind of like adventure or fantasy stories. And so I think the only difference is like how, I don't know, I think a lot of authors, or like not authors, sorry, when people are thinking about how do you sell a book, that this book might be too complicated for certain age groups. And I'm like, no, like a lot of, you know, you're underestimating what a kid wants to read, what a kid can read, and what they want to read. So like when I wrote my Minecraft book, I wrote it like I would write a YA, but I also was like, these characters are 14, so they're gonna deal with like 14-year-old issues. The Sidekick Squad is often billed as like middle grade, which I think is because of the writing style. I wanted to be like very accessible. So even though the characters are like 16, 17, it is very like, I would categorize the Sidekick Squad as much more like adventure, science fiction, robots, shenanigans than romance. It has romance in it, but I think that's also important to just like casually have queer relationships in middle grade. And yeah, the difference between writing YA and middle grade, I don't know, this is a hard question for folks who write both YA and middle grade. The line kind of shifts. I mean, there's a lot of middle grade out there, and there's new books out every year. I think the genre just expands, because when I was a kid, there was not like a middle grade section. It was just like, you have like Sweet Valley High and Goosebumps and like your Babysitter's Club, and then you have like Stephen King. So like, I think the evolution of like young adult fiction as a genre really came about in like the last like 20 years, which is great to see. And yeah, I think I don't know, this is a craft question. I wasn't prepared to think about it. Oh no, I was, because you gave me the questions because you're a smart moderator. And I procrastinated.
Fantastic answer.
But yeah, writing middle grade and writing by slightly different, but I think going into, I just start with story first.
I love it. Okay, so what does success look like for you, and has it changed throughout your career?
I think on one hand, there's a lot of pressure for like writers to be like, oh, like you need to be like on this list. You need to sell this many books. You need to be writing full time. And like there are markers where a lot of people will say like, unless I've done XYZ things, I cannot be considered a author, or like I don't consider success. But the marker always changes. So it's really easy to just never be satisfied and just never, I know you are thinking Hamilton lyrics right now. But I'm really, I feel like, you know, I've had a lot of therapy, and I think about like being content and just be like, hey, like you can have goals, but don't let the goals distract you from being like content and appreciating what you have, because like the imaginary, not imaginary, yes, it is imaginary. It's these goalposts that we place for ourselves are imaginary, right? Like I think, oh, okay, I wrote a Star Wars. So I feel like that was a huge like, wow, this is like a dream come true, right? And I'm still like thrilled about it, right? I'm like, oh, I gotta be put my little gay hands in the Star Wars universe. And that was a wonderful achievement. But I'm also like, oh, like it's really easy. Like for example, when people are like, oh, like diversity wins, like this book exists, I'm like, and so it's easy to say like we're done. Like, oh, you got like, we see XYZ books now make the New York Times bestseller list. Great. We've proven that queer people can write books. Great. We've proven that people of color can write books. And then people are like, great, we're done. I'm like, no, that it's never like the conversation is not over. It's always, we're always moving forward, because like the danger of saying like, oh, we did it, we're here, like we can marry each other now. Like that's a excuse to say like yes, obviously celebrate, but I don't ever want to say like, hey, we're done, because we still have so much more to do. And I think success has changed for me, because when I was young, even like, I don't know, years ago, I would just be like, I need to like have this many books, or like I need to have sold this many, or like done this many. But I think being a writer, there's I don't know, someone with anxiety, you can put so much pressure on yourself already to just settle into it and feel like appreciative of what you have. I think that's what success means to me now.
I love it. Okay, would you walk us through the publishing process for Coffee Shop?
Oh, it was long. No, but how old are you?
9 years old, 8 years.
Really?
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Not even close.
So this book I queried my agent with this book in 2018.
Oh, wow.
So, and it was not the book that you see here today. It was 2 chapters that I wrote during the Lambda Literary Emerging Queer Writers, essentially queer summer camp. And I wrote those 2 chapters at the retreat. Melinda Lowe was my mentor, and she was amazing. And like, she gave me a lot of great feedback. And I was like, great, I'm gonna write this book. Then I got contracts for other books. And I had to write those too. And then I had a baby. And and yes. And, yeah, so the publishing journey for this book was that it was always in the back of like Macmillan. I've always felt bad because I'm like, I'm so sorry, I need to ask for another extension. And then they're like, no, it's okay. And then they did the Remakes Classic series. They're like, we want you to be the first. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, it's okay, it's in-house. So like, we know that like my editors were roommates. And like, this sounds like a romance pitch, but it's not.
And they were roommates.
That's also a new book. But they were like, okay, Clash of Steel is going to come out first, even though we bought Coffee Shop first. We're going to rank it because we want all this. And so the publishing journey has just really come full circle to like, I finished the book last year, and really thankful to my partners and my wonderful Nova for like, yeah, that's you. And just like being able to finish the project and being a parent like felt really like uniquely wonderful to me, because it was new. Like, this is the first book that I've written, or finished writing as a parent. So I'm really proud of it, and it's here today, and I hope you enjoy it.
It's incredible, and I think it's so fun that I remember, I think probably about 2 years ago, I walked into the Ripotis before I started moderating, before I even started my Bookstagram, and I was like, do you have a sapphic pirate romance? And they gave me a Clash of Steel, and then I met CV like a year later, and now we're here, and I'm it's so much fun. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, so what did writing this story teach you?
Sorry, I'm just having Ariana's Thank You Next playing in my It taught me love. No. I think this one also just taught me patience, because I had to write. I had to write a lot of it in like weird times. I used to be very precious, and I still am in many ways, because I'm a very particular person. But I used to have like all the conditions. The star must be aligned. Everything must be perfect in order for me to write, right? Like, I have to be in the space. The laptop must be charged. There must be a plug. I must have a coffee. No one must bother me for 4 or 5 hours. And like, these conditions were really hard to replicate. And so like, I would also, I could write in like shorter spans. And I also did NaNoWriMo, which became Not Your Sidekick, was a NaNoWriMo book. And this question was about process.
It was about, what did writing this story teach you?
Oh, what it taught me. Yes. So it taught me that it's okay to write the stars do not have to be aligned. It's okay to write badly. It's okay to write fast. It's okay to write like for like 30 minutes after the baby is asleep. It's okay to write like, it's okay to write when you're tired. It's okay to write, and it's okay to wait and not write. It's okay to live, because you living and having experiences is what fuels the writing. So that is what it taught me. Thank you, Ariana.
Now I have that playing in my head. Okay. What advice would you give to aspiring authors?
Advice would be to keep writing and also to keep reading, read widely in all genres, like not just the genre you want to write in, but like a genre you might not think about. Like I've learned a lot from like reading mystery and horror, and even though that's not always my favorite to read, or like I was very stuck in my like, this is the only genres I read, and then I was like, oh, I do really like mystery, I do like enjoy horror, and like learning things, cool things that people do in genres that are automatic for them that like you don't think about for like other genres is fun. And also remember to like take time for yourself and just like have little like dates with yourself to go and just like be creative, and like have a hobby that's not writing. So like I think it's really easy to be like, oh, like I love this hobby and it's fun, but like you should also have something else that is like relaxing, that is not writing, to like help compress.
Fantastic advice. And I have one more question and then our lightning round, and then I will give it to the amazing audience. So please start thinking of your questions now. Okay, what's up next? If you can tease.
I cannot say anything.
Dun dun dun.
I love it. Well, I'm excited for whatever it is. And lightning round time. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Oh.
I know it's a lightning round.
I see, Mama.
Yes. I used to never drink coffee. My partners love coffee, so we drink coffee.
Hardcover or paperback?
I see.
That's so upsetting. I don't like both hardcover for to read, paperback for I don't know, they're both good in different ways. I don't like it. Ask this question into the fires of Mordor.
Okay. What are you currently reading?
Well, I just bought like 20 books from Barnes & Noble this morning, and then I also bought, the last time I was here, I was at the Rip Bonus, I got Ash Poston's newest book, and I got, I picked up, oh my god, suddenly I've never seen a book in my life. I am reading, and I'm just looking at, but I have If We Were a Movie by Zakiya and Jamal, and they were.
Oh, it sounds so good.
And I know this is from 2 years ago, last year. Dahlia Adler's Home Field Advantage is so cute. It's so good. It's like the perfect autumn homecoming, queers, football. Have you seen this like photo that went around like the internet? It's like of a like girl who's a football player and her hair is being done by her cheerleader. So like it's very cute, and that picture inspired Dahlia's book, and it's adorable.
I'm adding it to my TBR now. Well, not right now. I don't have my phone on me. But, what's your favorite trope?
Coffee shop AUs, of course. Also, interdimensional universe hopping. As you can tell, it's in the books. But I do really love like when you have a character just like wake up in another universe. There's something slightly different. Like maybe their love interest is now married to them, and then they're like, what? And they have to navigate this life. That's probably, I know it sounds very specific, but you can find probably like hundreds of fics with this specific trope for any fandom, and I have found them all for the pairings that I like. Maybe written some of them, but it's I love a good fake dating, because that also comes with like friends to lovers, and it's also like, oh yes, this is the only time I can hold your hand and not have to like lie to you that I'm actually in love with you, because I'm actually pretending to lie but I'm not.
So good. What's your favorite type of scene to write?
I really like meet cutes. I feel like they're fun.
Your meet cutes are so good. They're amazing.
The meet cutes beginnings are really great. Those and I think the scene in Clash of Steel where it's like An is teaching Xiang how to fight with a sword. That was a favorite scene of mine to write. I actually struggled with the novel for a long time because I had like really big writer's block, and like I'd done all this historical research, but I was like going research, and I was not really writing, and I was like, I need to finish this book, and skipped ahead. And I was like, I'm gonna write the scene that is exciting to me, that is like why I went into writing. So it's just like a lot of like tension, and it's like sexy and fun.
Love it. Savory or sweet?
Sweet.
First, second, or third person?
Oh, I guess it depends on the book. I only recently started writing in first. This is my second book in first person. All my other books have been in third. So it's been in a fun space, but I do love third person because you can make fun of your own characters. Because you're not in their heads.
Silence or music when writing?
I like music, but it cannot have lyrics. I do love soundtracks a lot. So a lot of like instrumental soundtracks. If you found the Brenda and Kat's Spotify playlist, on my Spotify I also have soundtracks for like most of my other books and what I listen to with writing. A lot of like movie sound, like it's just vibes. Sometimes I just listen to the entire Stardew Valley soundtrack.
I love that. And favorite season?
Season? Autumn.
It's a good one. I love it. Okay, audience time. Any questions?